Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna rank starter components, starting off with sickle. Sickle is a support item, obviously. It is great, it scales quite well, gives you a lot of damage, however, it has a problem. You are quite squishy when you take it. It is okay to stack, stacking is no longer a problem, but the squishiness is a downside of it. If you wanna go full glass cannon, this is the way, however, typically in League of Legends games you never wanna do that. This is why stuff like Green 3 is so busted, because you surviving more means you can do more damage. That means that the shield, the support shield, is obviously gonna be S tier, gonna be the best support item you can take on tanks, enchanters, poke mages, whatever you want. It is just better. Now there is cases where obviously you'd prefer the sickle just to do more damage. However, if you wanna play completely optimally, the shield is probably gonna give you more value. Now dagger. Dagger is not a great first item. Now it is acceptable, however. You do not typically build it, and I wouldn't rarely ever see someone start dagger. It is 15% attack speed. There might be a niche case with ADCs, which after boots, I guess they can take this component, but that's it really. I would never like rush this component in any way, shape, or form. That goes obviously with glove. Glove is the worst component. It is just 10% crit. It is a bit better on Yasuo and Yon. However, they would more rather take the attack speed or the longsword, which we're gonna talk about. Like these two are just not great starting components. You should pretty much never take them. Sapphire Crystal is very good on items that use on champions that use mana. Amazing item. It combines very well with stacking mages or mana immune users. They can run this, have a lot of mana just by this single component alone. It is 250 mana for 500 gold. It is very, very, very nice. Ruby Crystal is the best, in my opinion, component in the game. Non-damage wise, you are gonna survive more, even on assassins or other champions. If you wanna win 1v1 in lane, Ruby Crystal is gonna carry you. And it's gonna most likely be the reason that you win lane. Now, I'm not even sure what this circle is, but it is the Sheen component. The Sheen component, obviously, you build this whenever you are gonna go Sheen, and that's about it. It gives you like 10 ability haste. It is an okay item, I guess, for Sheen users, but for everyone else, it is pure garbage. You pretty much never take it. In fact, I kind of wanna put it down here, but again, it is more useful than the glove, so we're gonna leave the glove there alone. We're gonna talk with Mantle here. Mantle is great. It is situational. If you need a little bit of MR, it's gonna do its job. In fact, I'm gonna rank Cloth Armor there for the same exact reason. Cloth Armor is a bit better because, armor is actually more powerful than MR is, especially until you have full items. However, because a lot of magic champions typically have a lot of damage. They have a lot of mixed damage, true damage. They have even pen in their abilities for the most part. While cloth armor is gonna always bring value because people who do physical damage are typically auto attackers, and the value is just so much higher. You can trade better with it and stuff, but however, they are on the same page, like both on the same tier. They are good sometimes, and not great other times. Now we have boots, just regular boots, non-upgraded. You can sometimes very, very rarely take them. They are not good without being upgraded. You wanna potentially avoid them. Especially as a starter component, you just never take boots, but there might be one or two situations where you might consider it. Longsword and Amplifying Tome, obviously the two best damage source. in the game. You know, if your champion does damage, whether physical or magical, you take one of these. And you know, if your champion is a bruiser, you take ruby crystal. If your champion has some sort of mana issue, mana scaling, you take the sapphire crystal. And then we're gonna have a shimmering spark here for jungle clear. This is why it is so high up. I would typically have it down here. However, it is the best starter for tanks who run Sunfire in the jungle, aka tanks like Amumu. It helps with clear a lot. It is very okay item. Put it behind Sickle. So this is the tier list, guys. So keep that in mind if you didn't already know. These are super basic stuff, but I do think that it is nice to know the basics of the game. Take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed.